Welcome. Today we're diving deep into something really quite puzzling about modern life. It's this paradox, feeling incredibly lonely even when we're, constantly connected. I mean, think about it. We have WhatsApp, Instagram, nonstop video calls, even AI friends now. And yet, reports of loneliness, especially among younger adults, they just keep rising. It feels like the tools meant to bring us closer might actually be pushing us apart. How does that even work?
That's the core question, isn't it? And it's a heavy one, actually. Our mission today is really to unpack that contradiction, to figure out why all this digital connection, which seems so promising, often leaves people feeling more isolated. It touches so many lives, so it's definitely worth exploring properly.
Okay, so let's start there. We tend to assume that being connected online just equals feeling good, feeling fulfilled emotionally. But maybe that's too simple. Like, what's the real difference between just, say, sending a meme or liking a post compared to actually sitting down with someone face-to-face and having a real conversation?
That's exactly the critical difference. Psychologically, what often happens online is what we call surface-level interaction. Social media is brilliant at creating this illusion of intimacy. You see updates, photos, you feel like you're in touch for a moment. But it often lacks, genuine depth, empathy, the stuff you get from nonverbal cues, being in the same room, the effort of a real chat. And there's this other idea, social snacking. It's a good analogy, actually. Think of it like social junk food. Scrolling through posts, watching stories. It gives you a quick little hit, a bit of satisfaction.
Like a sugar rush.
Exactly, like a sugary snack.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually nourish your social needs in a lasting way. It can leave you feeling, emptier afterwards compared to a really substantial, fulfilling interaction.
And the data backs this feeling up, right? Are the numbers showing how widespread this digital loneliness is?
Oh, definitely. The numbers are quite stark. There was a big global survey in 2023 by Cigna. It found over half, more than 50% of Gen Z and millennials reported feeling lonely often. And these are the generations most plugged in, the most digitally active.
Wow, over half. That's significant.
It is. And what's maybe even more telling is that if you look broader, countries with higher internet use, more smartphones per person, they often report higher levels of loneliness, which really challenges that simple idea that more tech automatically equals more connection.
So more access doesn't fix it.
It seems not. It makes you wonder, right? All the convenience of remote work, online classes, virtual hangouts, they have benefits, sure, but have they maybe sort of accidentally chipped away at those small, everyday human moments, the quick chat in the hallway at work, talking to the person making your coffee, just bumping into someone, those little bits of connection.
Yeah, those casual moments just disappear. And maybe that pushes us more online, where we run into another big problem, the comparison game. Social media is basically a highlight reel, isn't it? It's all curated moments, the perfect vacation, the big smiles, the parties. And if your own life doesn't look like that, well, it's easy to feel left out or just not good enough.
That's the classic FOMO, the fear of missing out that we hear so much about. But the really insidious part is how FOMO can, fester. Over time, it's not just, I missed a party. It can become this deeper feeling of being unseen. Yeah. Or unimportant, maybe even unloved.
Unseen. That's a powerful word for it.
It is. And the irony, when people feel low like that, what do they often do?
Scroll more.
Exactly. They doom scroll, hoping maybe to find something to feel better, some connection. But scrolling through everyone else's curated perfection usually just makes it worse. It deepens the loneliness instead of fixing it.
So it's a vicious cycle. Feeling lonely, scrolling, feeling worse. Let's talk about the connections themselves then, the quality. You mentioned surface level stuff. Does having 500 Facebook friends or thousands of Instagram followers, does that actually mean anything? Does it mean you have someone to call when things get tough?
That really hits the nail on the head. It's the classic quantity versus quality debate. Real, genuine connection isn't built on numbers. It's built on trust, vulnerability, being present for someone. And that stuff takes time. It takes effort, which, social media platforms just aren't really designed for.
They're designed for something else entirely.
Pretty much. Think about their core goal. It's algorithms designed to maximize time spent on the app. They want engagement, clicks, likes, shares, content that keeps you scrolling, often stuff that's emotionally charged or even polarizing because that gets reactions. That's why it can feel so addictive, right?
Yeah.
But it often doesn't actually fulfill that deep human need we have for real connection. It's just engagement.
But it's not just the apps and the screens causing this, is it? Are there bigger things going on in society? Lifestyle changes.
Oh, absolutely. It's a bigger picture. Modern life itself plays a huge role. People move around more now for work or education. More people live alone. Remote work is common. Families are often spread out geographically. All these things can naturally weaken our sort of traditional built-in social networks.
Makes sense. Less built-in community.
Right. And then there's the link with mental health, which is crucial. It's often a feedback loop. Feeling depressed or anxious or burnt out can lead you to isolate yourself. But then that isolation can actually cause or worsen depression and anxiety. It feeds itself.
A downward spiral.
Exactly. And the pandemic, well, it basically put that loop on steroids for a lot of people. Even after lockdowns ended, many people kind of stayed in that more isolated mode, relying more on their phones, maybe skipping social things they used to do. That pattern stuck for some.
Okay, so it sounds complex. Technology, lifestyle, mental health, it's all intertwined.
Yeah.
Which leads to the big question, what can we actually do about it?
Yeah.
How do we break free from this digital loneliness?
Well, the first step, and honestly, it can be the hardest, is just to acknowledge it. Acknowledge the feeling of loneliness if it's there. It's okay. It's a human signal, not a personal failing.
Just admitting it to yourself.
Yes. And once you do that, you can start small. Really small, actionable things. Maybe instead of just texting someone, pick up the phone for a quick call. Hear their voice. Look for those tiny micro connections during your day. Like really smile and make eye contact with the person serving you coffee. Chat with a neighbor for a minute.
Tiny interactions add up.
They really can. Or maybe join something local. A book club, a sports team, a volunteer group. Just being physically around other people, even if it feels a bit awkward at first, it starts to rebuild those connections. And crucially, be mindful of your screen time, especially the passive scrolling.
The doom scrolling we talked about.
Right. Try to consciously use technology to support real-world relationships, not replace them. Use video calls to connect deeply with faraway family. Use messaging apps to actually plan an in-person meetup. The goal is using tech as a bridge, not as the destination.
Using it intentionally.
Exactly. And always remember, just one deep, honest friendship that's incredibly powerful, way more powerful than having thousands of superficial digital connections. It really comes down to depth over breadth. Prioritize quality.
It makes sense. Fundamentally, we humans, we aren't wired for isolation, are we? We're wired for connection. Real connection, not just Wi-Fi signals, but, warmth, empathy, actually being present with someone.
That's beautifully put. Technology can be amazing. It can bridge distances, connect us in new ways. But, and this is the key, only if we use it wisely, with intention. Because that true connection, the stuff that really feeds the soul, that still happens heart to heart, not screen to screen.
Heart to heart, not screen to screen. I like that.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Just consider, what's one small intentional step you could take today, right now, to bridge that digital divide just a little bit in your own life? To foster a connection that feels more authentic, maybe even in person. What kind of connection truly nourishes you? Something to think about.